So you're okay?
Yeah.
All right, cool.
And keep drinking these. They'll feel great.
Yeah. Hi everyone, this is Ray, or some of you might know me as Tiki with Ray, and today I am in Bonnie Lake, which is outside of Tacoma, Washington, and about an hour south of Seattle, Washington. I'm at my good friend Gabe's place, and today we're going to be talking about Gabe's favorite Tiki mugs. And the thing is, I always like to know why people's favorite mugs are their favorite mugs. I mean, I have my favorite mugs. Gabe, you have your favorite mugs, and I'm curious to see the stories behind some of your favorites here. So, well, let me start off by asking you, how long have you been into Tiki, and how did you get into Tiki?
So, around 2012, I got out of the military in 2011. In 2012, I moved to Tacoma, and I didn't have any friends, and so I started playing softball.
Oh.
And so those guys became my softball friends. And one night, we were going out downtown Tacoma, and my buddy Nick, he's like, "Oh, I gotta take you to this place. It's awesome."
Yeah.
And I'm like, "What do you mean?" He's like, I can't even describe it. And so he takes me to this place. There's like, bamboo everywhere, and tropical fish, and I didn't know at the time, but like tikis, and I'm like, "What is this?" It's Tacoma Cabana. This place is great. To me, it looks it looked like a kitschy junk collection, and but I was like, "Whatever, man." And so we were still kind of apprehensive. He's like, "Wait," and so I think we were sitting at the bar, and I don't know. I'm not sure what I ordered. I think we might have ordered zombies off the bat. And
that's a good start.
Especially for
now, have you had a zombie before this?
No.
Oh, okay.
And so for people who haven't never drank Tiki, drinking a zombie, I describe it as like getting punched in the mouth, because at first all you taste is alcohol, because you don't have like a palate can distinguish other flavors yet. But we knew it was strong, and so we were drinking our zombies. But at that point, they're like jet fuel.
Yes.
And we were making fun of Nick for making this place, and then about halfway through the first zombie, we started laughing and bust each other's balls and having a good time, and finished our drink. And suddenly we're having an amazing time. But Nick's like, "See?" I'm like, "Dude, I'm sorry we doubted you." But it wasn't just the drinks; it was like the fun environment, and it was dark in there. It kind of, the drinks warped you into that place that Tiki takes you, and it's kind of a little escapism and a fun, lighthearted place to be. And by the time we were down and had our second drink, I think I had a Navy grog, or that's what I remember at least. And by the time we had a second drink, I was sold. Yeah. And after that, I started taking everyone I could there. So that's where it started.
It's starting off with the zombie, and the thing is,
I had no idea. I'm not even sure you're allowed. It's legal to give a Tiki version of zombie off the bat. But
it sometimes makes me think about this, everyone's experience, like when they go to a Tiki bar for the first time, is like they get pretty drunk pretty quickly because those drinks are strong,
right? And
then you're like, you love the environment, and it's just sort of, I wonder if it's like because you're drunk you like the environment.
I think so. It's like you associate that warm glow feeling into the environment. You're having fun with your friends when 15 minutes before you were questioning his sanity.
All right, well, here's a good question for you. And you made me just think about this. I'm sure you have been drunk or pretty well wasted.
I was a Marine Corps for 5 years. I was a professional drunk.
At bars.
Yes.
Just bars. But does the decor or the environment make that much of a difference in the experience?
Absolutely.
Why do you say that? Because, say you drank that zombie, just at a bar, like a craft cocktail bar, just being nice. Why would that be different than?
You feel like you're part of a conspiracy, when you're at a Tiki bar.
Yeah.
The way the cabana was set up, it was a pretty small place, but it's kind of modular. So your own little section was dark, and you were in the corner with your friends on this hideaway getting drunk.
Yeah.
And I also think at regular bars, not that a lot of bars are bright, but you can see people and it's louder. And I think the music combined with the ambiance kind of makes you like come into each other and speak. Not like, okay, we're definitely not quiet.
Yeah.
But I think that adds to that like feeling of closeness to people you're with.
Oh, totally. And here's the thing that I love about tiki bars is like there's nothing better. I know a lot of people like to sit at the bar.
I do. I prefer it.
Most people do, but give me a booth. Give me a booth where I'm like isolated from everyone, where it's like me and my buddies, whoever's with me in this little shack. You know, every once in a while, someone checks in, hey, do you guys need anything? Like at the Devil's Reef.
Right.
I love being in those booths because I love the isolation.
I think it's two different things I like about being in a booth versus at the bar. I like being at the bar to interact with the bartenders.
Yeah.
Especially ones you've kind of gained a relationship with, or even a new place. If I go to a new tiki bar and I hit up the bartender and start talking to them, and they kind of find out I appreciate tiki, and so you start to you get more from it than you would if you're just by yourself. But then the experience of being there with friends is separate from that.
Okay.
And so I really like both. I don't go to bars all the time and drink by myself with the bartender, just letting you guys know, but only like once a week or so. But
that's pretty often. Every time I'm at the Devil's Reef.
Hey, okay. Think about
and I go to the Devil's Reef a lot.
All right, here's one good thing about local tiki bars.
They're close.
If I go there on, say, Wednesday or Friday by myself, 80% of the time it won't be by myself because I'm going to run into Ray or Jason or any number of locals who go there on a regular basis. And so you become a regular there, and you're not just there with the bartenders, you're there with the other regulars. And so if you're not even there with a group, you kind of sometimes fall into a group.
Yep.
So anyways, I don't know what the original question was, but for 100% the environment definitely lends to the experience.
And I think that's what makes going to a tiki bar special, because it's an experience.
Right.
It isn't just going to a bar and getting drunk. Hey gang, we'll get back to the tiki conversation here in just a second, but I want to let y'all know that I have t-shirts for sale. They are screen printed in America. The artist is Tony Canepa, and they're going for $20 a piece, $25 including shipping. If you're interested in buying one, go to my website, tikiwithray.com, and then there's a tab that says buy a t-shirt. Click on there and just follow the prompts. So thank you very much. And let's get back to the tiki conversation now.
I don't know if it's scientific or not, but I feel like tiki drunk is a warmer, happier drunk than maybe others. But maybe the environment, again, is leaning you to the lighter heart than maybe a different bar.
No, you talk about the lighter heart. I mean, it's like right off the bat, instead of drinking drinks out of a can,
right,
or you're drinking it out of a little statue, a little mug. And the thing is, there's a lot of people I know that got into tiki strictly because they like the mugs.
Okay.
And the thing is they are cool. This is cool. Like, I love the moai. And I've never had a passionate experience about a vessel to drink something out of, except tiki mugs.
That's true.
To the point where you start collecting them. So out of all your mugs here, do you have an absolute favorite?
Okay, so I would say there's two main factors that make my favorite mug. One is the form of the mug, how it looks.
Okay.
Right, but you can't separate that from where you got it from. This is one of the first mugs that Devil's Reef came out with, and it was a single run mug just for Devil's Reef, and I just think it's beautiful and perfect.
That's it?
Yeah. So they had 3 or 4 different styles. I think they only made 100 or 200 of these things, so they're rather expensive.
Devil's Reef.
I just think it's a perfect size mug. It's beautiful. It's a skull. It looks like petrified wood. I don't know. I just think...
It does. And you know what? It's from Tiki Rob. And Tiki Rob is out, and he's in Maui, actually.
22. So I was near the bottom of the list. So how it works, at least in Tacoma, is you follow Jason or someone on Facebook. They're like, oh, the mugs are here. You're like, I thought they weren't here till next week. And so suddenly there's like a stampede to get down there. Or, you're there a half hour before they open because you want to make sure you get your mug. Moving to pretty generic. This is just a coconut mug, but it's Trader Vic's. So I found this at a thrift shop in Tacoma with my girlfriend at the time. And I think we got 6 of them for $20. And so...
What?
Yeah, right.
6 of them?
Yeah, and so I like this mug because this thing could be 60 years old or 70 years old.
Trader Vic? Wow.
And so I call this I let my friends who aren't tiki people drink out of this mug. So if it breaks, it's not the end of the world.
It's good and solid. And here's the thing: it's like
if someone broke this one, there'd be issues.
Yeah, well, that don't give your
right.
Don't serve your friends.
This one I like it because I found it in a local thrift store. It has
where was that at? Which thrift store?
This in the thrift store alley down the Tacoma behind Opera Alley.
So in Tacoma.
Yeah.
So that could have very well been from the Trader Vic's that was in Seattle.
I could have. And so I just it's pretty plain, but it has history, and I don't mind if it would break. Let's move over. So this, actually, I would put these in actually the same category. I really like these mugs, the way they look. I think they're beautiful. But these is all I have left of the Tacoma Cabana, which is the original tiki bar I found. And Jason, the owner of the Tacoma Cabana and Devil's Reef, he loves H.P. Lovecraft and everything Cthulhu. And so he kind of got me hooked on that too. So this is our Lord Cthulhu. So I really like this mug. And it's also kind of reminds me of those times down at the Tacoma Cabana.
And of course, this is a horror and clay mug.
Yes.
Jonathan Chaffin.
Yep.
And the thing is this is one of the most, this feels good in the hand when you drink out of it.
I think I've heard Jason Craig talk about this. Some mugs are slippery, where other mugs are easy to, I don't know if the makers built this in, but this is really easy to hold on to mug. So this is actually probably the one I drink most out of at my house, just because it's not that big, so you don't have to use that much ice, and it holds really well in your hand, and it's great. This one, probably same category, Tacoma Cabana. This is mug Monk Tiki. I love Zombie Blackbeard. It's rad. Blackbeard's Ghost. I really like the form and function of this, and although you gotta be careful, because
I don't know how you drink out of it, because
that's what I'm saying. You have to use a straw, because you gotta be careful. It's slanted, so you think you're filling it up, but the back's lower than the front, and so stuff starts to spill away if you fill it up all the way. So you gotta be a little bit careful.
Yeah, and Monk Tiki obviously is Oregon. Well, no, Astoria.
I have another mug up there from Monk Tiki.
They used to, Paul and Deba used to be based out of Portland, and they moved up to Astoria with Miles. And from what I understand is they have a really nice showroom, and I guess they're going to be building a tiki bar at the Monk Tiki facility. So
that sounds like a great episode.
Fingers crossed.
Tiki with Ray.
So,
all right, now we're going to move on to, I think, Ray and I's both favorite bar.
You're right. You are so right.
Tiki Ti. Last March, I did a Disneyland / Tiki tour down to California. Started in LA, moved down to San Diego, stopped at Disneyland. I was told I have to go to Tiki Ti. And I was probably, my hotel was maybe 2 miles from there. I'm like, I'll just take a little e-bike over there. And I'm like, man, I'm not going to be there early. Whatever, I'll get there at 4:02. I got there when they opened at 4:02, and I was the 16th person in the door and barely made it. But I actually got a spot at the bar, and on one side of me was regulars who'd been going there for 15 years on a Wednesday, and the other side, people out of town like myself who love tiki. And so it's a really cool experience from on one side of people like me, and the other side locals, and then this people who worked there. It was a family operated business there. How do I say it? So when people are really good at making drinks, if they've been doing it for a long time, they can make these complicated drinks but still interact with the people at the bar. And that's what it was like at Tiki Ti. It was really small. It's really intimate. You feel that vibe and that history of, it's been that same thing forever, and you can feel it. I didn't stay long enough for the toast to the grandfather who started it in 1961, but I did get to meet the dad and the son. The son was actually behind the bar. And so it has the feel of a neighborhood bar and the best of tiki all in one. And I recommend anyone, if you can get there before they open, and get a spot at the bar and just start talking to them. All right.
And they made it, and it's funny. So what they did is they made a mug that is literally the same size as the bar. I mean, it's tiny.
So this bar is about the same size as their bar.
We're being facetious, but but I'll tell you what, I've been to a lot of tiki bars all over the country, and always, if I can click my heels and be at any bar, it's Tiki Ti. I just feel like it's ground zero for me. It just feels like this is where it's at. And
it's not pretentious. It just feels, original. I mean, it feels authentic is the word I'm looking for. And you can't create that. It's just what it is. And it feels more authentic than any other tiki bar I've been to.
What I love is a lot of times you go to a tiki bar, and sometimes it's the only people there that are into tiki or kind of know what's up. Maybe you and maybe like 2 other people.
Right.
And what I loved about Tiki Ti is Tiki Ti has their regulars.
Right.
But it's the whole bar, which means they're all tiki people.
Right.
So it's awesome when you go.
Yeah, no one in there was. First of all,
you don't go into Tiki.
It's on the side of the Sunset Strip, and not like an area to be walking by.
No. In fact, it's surrounded by I think the Scientology buildings or something like that. Like it literally surrounds it. Like you wouldn't. No one is there by accident.
I guess it is kind of kitty corner to the Laugh Factory. So if you want a landmark to get there, because I
just know there's a Del Taco across the street because I usually go and I usually eat a bunch of tacos before I sit in. So you have one more tiki mug.
All right, so cut me off at 20 minutes because I'm gonna jump into this.
Jump in.
In November, I did a Euro trip. We went to Germany, Czech Republic, Hungary, and Italy. But in Hungary, we went to Budapest, and I freaking love Budapest.
Why is that?
So in Europe, you have, modern cities like Frankfurt, for say, and you have ancient cities like Prague.
Yeah.
Prague wasn't really damaged by the war, so it was very intact. Well, Budapest was completely destroyed in the war, but they rebuilt it, at least on the main avenues, rebuilt it to make it historical, but they added modern conveniences. So there's, 4 to 6 lane roads going through the city, subways every 10 feet, and buses to get around. So it has all the convenience of a really modern city, combined with like the beautiful history of a European capital.
Yeah.
And not to mention it was the capital of the Austro-Hungarian Empire, and there's just beautiful things for its own sake there. Everyone dresses up. Like I was wearing like travel clothes. I felt like a scrub. Me and my buddy had to go buy sweaters because everyone was dressed so nice. We were also there. They had like Christmas markets, and I just love the city. Love the people. If you ever get a chance, the history of the Hungarian people, it's just like their attitude and ability to overcome just tragedy after tragedy and still maintain pride as a people. And Budapest is the center of that. It's beautiful. All right. Now we know I love Budapest. I found a tiki bar in Budapest. It's called Rumpus.
Rumpus.
And I assumed this was going to be a kitschy, crappy tiki bar. No. This is a legitimate tiki bar. Top 4, well, okay, I may be biased. We'll say top 5 I've ever been to. Wow. The owner was there. Apparently, she went to the United States and went to, I think, Smuggler's Cove, and she's like, what is this? This is amazing. And I'm bringing this home. And so she decided to make a legitimate tiki bar and contacted actual tiki folks for recipes and decor. And we were going through her mugs, what she had, where she's been. I was sitting next to the owner, talking to her about this, and her passion for tiki is real. The garnishes are the best I've ever seen in my life. They have dry ice and smoke kind of stuff. They have fruit and everything going around. It's legit. They love tiki. It's actually pretty big. And I did this thing called Death Race. Death Race has, and on the wall it says Death Race. I'm like, hold on, would you like to do Death Race? I'm like, yes. I don't know what that is. But what I found out was the Death Race was a Mai Tai, a zombie, like a kui. I don't know. A tiki drink you'd know. And then this thing called Viva Los Muertos, so like live the dead or come back to life. And so I started out at the bar. They didn't have a Navy grog, or I'd have gone with that first. I'm like, I'll try the zombie. The drinks were good. As good as any place you would find. I would say better than Alibi, but I would say maybe early Cabana, but not quite maybe as the best in the United States, but as good as any you were going to go.
Damn.
And so then I like, well, I've already drank. Let's go back to the Death Race. I've already drank the zombie. Let's just do the rest of it. So then I got a Mai Tai.
So the Death Race is you have.
Oh, it's a Nui.
You have to drink all these drinks.
Yes, 4 of them
in like one night.
One night. So I got my Mai Tai.
Do you have a time, like a timer?
No timer.
Okay.
Some people have got them all at once and drank them all at once. And so then I got my Mai Tai, and each one that came out And there was smoke coming out. There was fruit. It was garnished like at least. I'm talking not like 1 or 2 fruits, but like 4 or 5 fruits. You know, and it's beautiful. Then they're like, "Oh, here's your zombie." I'm like, "I already had the zombie." Like, one doesn't drink a death race out of order. One drinks a death race in order. I'm like, 5 drinks?
God, so you had to drink another zombie?
Another zombie, and then
The zombie was the ending drink?
No, not the ending. The ending one was Live the Dead. And so I'm like swaying in my seat. They like go, they ding ding ding. They ring a bell. They bring out like a plaque and like put it over my neck, like a little wooden plaque. It was like I won a gold medal. I've never been so happy in my life. Yeah. But yeah. Anyways, this is my favorite bar. I mean, favorite tiki drink. Not because the function, but because where it was.
And they have a mug.
They had a bunch. It's kind of beat up, but
no way. Let me see this thing. Rumpus Funky Monkey.
Yep. And I just love it because it reminds me of the city. It reminds me of the unexpected, amazing tiki bar. And I may have proposed the owner even when she was in her 50s at one point. But yeah, that's why it's my favorite, just because of the place and the everything surrounding it.
Dude, man, this is the thing that I love about Tiki Mugs. I love that there's a story behind them. Well, at least for most people. Some people, they just buy mugs and they collect them. But what I love is that for you, there's a story to each of these mugs. There's
Absolutely.
a reason why you bought them. And again, it all comes back to bringing that whole thing as an experience. And Gabe, thanks for coming on the show.
Thanks for coming down. I think I've been threatening to make Ray, a Navy grog for about 2 years now, and he finally accepted.
It was good. But you know what? I think it's time for another one.
I think so.
All right. Dude, you fucking knocked it out of the park.
Sweet.
Seriously, you're great.
Fucking love talking about this stuff.
Yeah, me too. That's why I do a YouTube show. Hey gang, this is Tiki with Ray, and I just want to say thank you very much for checking out my video. I hope you enjoyed it. And if you want to see more episodes, click on the subscribe button. And if you liked the video, give it a like. That would mean a lot to me. And if you have any comments or suggestions, please leave a comment in the comment section below.